The French Wars of Religion, spanning from 1562 to 1598, were a series of intense and brutal conflicts that divided France for over 3 decades. At the heart of this civil war were two powerful factions, the Catholics and the Huguenots, French Protestants, locked in a violent struggle for religious and political dominance. This was a war not just of armies, but of ideologies, where the fate of a nation was shaped by the clash of faith, power, and survival. Today, we delve into the history of these tumultuous years that marked the end of medieval France and the dawn of the modern state. Grab a cup of tea and join us as we journey back in time to explore this dark yet transformative chapter of history. Welcome to our exploration of one of the most violent and transformative periods in French history. Between 1562 and 1598, France was engulfed in religious and civil war, a conflict that would set the stage for the rise of modern France. The French Wars of Religion were not simply battles fought on the field. They were fought in the hearts and minds of the people, as two religious factions, Catholics and Huguenots, fought for dominance. But what sparked this catastrophic war? How did the course of the war change, and who were the key players? Let's explore the pivotal events, political intrigue, and legendary figures that shaped this war and its impact on French history. The roots of the French Wars of Religion can be traced back to the Protestant Reformation, which had spread across Europe by the early 1500s. While the Catholic Church maintained strong influence in France, growing numbers of French citizens began to adopt Protestant beliefs, primarily Calvinism. These early religious tensions became even more pronounced when King Henry II of France died in 1559, and his death left a power vacuum in the monarchy, making the situation even more volatile. The Protestant Huguenots began to gain followers, especially among the nobility, while the Catholic faction, led by powerful families like the Guises, sought to maintain the status quo and preserve their own power. The first significant clash came in 1562 in the city of Vassy, where the Duke of Guise massacred a group of Huguenots, igniting the flames of war that would burn for decades. By 1572, tensions between the Catholics and Huguenots had reached a boiling point. In a move that was meant to end the religious conflict, a marriage was arranged between the Catholic Margaret of Valois and the Huguenot Henry of Navarre. This was seen as a gesture of peace, but it quickly turned to tragedy. On the night of August 24th, 1572, thousands of Huguenots were murdered across Paris in what became known as the St. Bartholomew's Day Massacre. The Catholic forces, led by the Guise family, seized the opportunity to eliminate the Huguenot leadership. The massacre spread to other parts of France, leaving an estimated 3,000 to 10,000 Huguenots dead. This event further deepened the hatred between the two factions and escalated the war. It also highlighted the lengths to which both sides would go to assert their power and control over France. Throughout the wars, one woman played a key role in the political maneuvering of France, Catherine de Medici. As the mother of King Charles IX, Catherine was not just a royal figurehead, but a powerful political player. She had to navigate the treacherous waters of religious conflict, while trying to preserve her family's power. Catherine's decisions were often contradictory. At times, she appeared to support the Huguenots in a bid to prevent the rise of the Catholic League, but she would also secretly back Catholic factions when the situation demanded it. One of her most controversial actions was her role in the St. Bartholomew's Day Massacre. Though she may not have directly ordered the killings, Catherine's influence and lack of action during the massacre suggests she was complicit. Her shifting alliances and attempts to maintain control during the religious wars made her one of the most enigmatic figures in French history. As the war raged on, a new leader emerged, Henry of Navarre, the leader of the Huguenot forces. Henry, born a Protestant, would later convert to Catholicism in order to secure the French throne. After the assassination of King Henry III in 1589, Henry of Navarre claimed the throne, but his claim was contested by Catholic factions, and France was divided. In an act of political pragmatism, Henry famously declared, "Paris is worth a mass," signaling his willingness to convert in order to unite the country. His conversion to Catholicism paved the way for his coronation as Henry IV. Though his conversion was controversial, Henry IV's reign brought much-needed peace to France. He introduced the Edict of Nantes in 1598, which granted religious tolerance to Protestants, and ended the wars that had ravaged the country for decades. The Edict of Nantes, signed in 1598 by Henry IV, marked the official end of the French Wars of Religion. The edict granted Huguenots religious freedom and protection under the law, allowing them to practice their faith openly without fear of persecution. While Catholicism remained the state religion, the Edict of Nantes was a landmark moment in European religious tolerance. Henry IV's political astuteness and commitment to peace led to a period of relative stability in France. However, the legacy of the wars would continue to shape France for centuries. The division between Catholics and Protestants would persist, and the power struggles that defined the wars would have lasting political ramifications. While the signing of the Edict of Nantes brought an end to the French Wars of Religion, the conflict's legacy remained embedded in France's social, political, and religious fabric. The wars had a lasting impact on the French monarchy, with the Bourbons rising to power and becoming one of the most influential royal families in Europe. The conflict also left France deeply divided, with religious tensions simmering for years. In the decades following the wars, France would see further political instability, culminating in the French Revolution in the late 18th century. The French Wars of Religion were a defining moment in France's history, paving the way for the modern French state, even as they left scars that would take centuries to heal. The French Wars of Religion were a tragic and defining chapter in the history of France, but they also laid the groundwork for the rise of the modern French state. Through betrayal, bloodshed, and political intrigue, France emerged from the chaos with a stronger, more unified monarchy. Henry IV's leadership and his commitment to religious tolerance brought peace to a divided country, setting France on a new course. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below. Share your thoughts with us and join us for more explorations into history's greatest conflicts.